What's going on, everyone? It's the All Gaming Blog here, and on this video I want to talk about the end of 2012, and I want to talk about the top games of 2012 that we've seen so far. I don't think there's going to be any more out until pretty much the end of this year. I think all the new games coming out will be on 2013. Anyways, I'm going to talk about a list which is not going to be in any particular order, but I'm just going to quickly go over the games that I think they're the best games of 2012, and I'm going to give you guys my personal opinions on the games. So the one that I think most people will agree is the top game of 2012 would be Far Cry 3. Now Far Cry 3 was one of them games that me personally I haven't played Far Cry 2 before, but I've seen Far Cry 3 and I can tell you guys that the game is just fantastic. It's by far one of, and the first person shooters, I think it's the best. And the reason for that being is, like Black Ops 2 is just, you know, it's multiplayer gameplay, whilst Far Cry 3 is more of a single player campaign kind of thing. Not only that, but if a video game that makes you kind of root for the bad guy, or makes you like the bad guy being the most, you know, prominent character in the game, if a game can do that, if a video game can do that, then you know already that's a freaking awesome video game. So Far Cry 3 is by far probably the top 2012 game. But right next to it, it's, in my opinion, Black Ops 2. Again, I don't want to talk too much because I already talked about Black Ops 2 in previous videos. But what I can say is the game is great, but it would be excellent if it was not so glitchy and so buggy. In the sense that, and that guy's gonna camp in there throughout the entire freaking game. The game would be better if the online component, which is where the game relies the most, would be fixed, would be great. Which is not, it's still very buggy and very bad. Also, I was slightly disappointed with zombies. I thought it was going to be better than what it is. I thought it was going to be sort of like a campaign in zombies. Ended up just being normal zombies with a freaking bus on it. Anyways, Assassin's Creed 3. I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed series. I'll admit that right now. I don't, honestly, I've played Assassin's Creed before, but I'm just not, you know, it's not my type of game. It's not my cup of tea. I'm more of a running, gunning, shooters, and Resident Evil type of guy. But I have to say, I have to admit on this, Assassin's Creed 3 did caught my eye. It was one of those games that, although I haven't really played the series, and I'm you know, I'm not a pair with the series or whatever. I honestly, it wasn't just because of the trailers and because of the fans or whatever. It was because I honestly think the game would be great to play. I haven't yet, but I don't know. Right, moving on. Halo 4. I don't think Halo 4 had as much acclaim as Halo 3 did when it first came. And the reason for this is because there were so many other games that came this year, so many great games and consoles that came up this year, that it's like, you know, I think it was just overtrampled by a lot of stuff. Which, you know, it happens a lot on YouTube. Good YouTubers are overtrampled by you know, other more prominent YouTubers. So I think it's the same. Even still, you know, it did obviously sold a lot of units, and it's a great, you know, Halo series is always great. I've played all of them, and I can say Halo series it's pretty good. And moving on to Hitman Absolution, another one in the Hitman series, which I have played Hitman. And I used to play it back in the day when it first came out, the first Hitman games, and they were good, but I think this one does kind of change the game, and in a better aspect. Now, I know a lot of people say that the game changes, and it basically just changes it to something that they don't like. It's just changing it to something that's not Hitman anymore. It doesn't have that feeling anymore. I don't see that as a bad thing in particular. I actually think it changed to the good part. I do like the original Hitman series. But this one that, you know, has, and I'm gonna dance with this guy now. But this one that has, you know, better changes that, in my opinion, should have been in the game before, that weren't. And yeah, well, that's pretty much it for the Hitman series. Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 was, how can I say? I was very mixed. I played the demo of it, and I put it up as soon as it came out, and it was one of them games that a lot of people were waiting for, and a lot of people really, really wanted. And then I'm not gonna say people got disappointed with it, but they pretty much it wasn't. It didn't meet the expectations. Sort of like Diablo 3, for example. It just did not meet the It doesn't mean the game is bad itself. It just means people had a lot big expectations for the game, and then it just kind of failed to meet them. The ending was terrible, and then they went back and changed the ending of the game. This was supposed to basically mark an end of the Mass Effect series, which is not going to, or they already said there's going to make another one. So there's a lot of things that should have gone one side, but then they went to the other side, and it's like it's a mixed reactions thing in here. You either love it or hate it. That's as simple as that. Moving on to Borderlands 2. I'm not a fan of Borderlands in any way, shape, or form, mostly because of the graphics in the game. Um, I'm not a particular fan of those cartoony graphics kind of thing. It's just, and I'm trying to kill this guy in this house, and he just gets out of it and kills me. Freaking campers. Um, I'm not a big fan of those graphics, although they are pretty good. They are very detailed. Those that's the only thing that actually puts me off the game. Being shooter wise, you know, it's a good shooter game. I think the co-op multiplayer thing is not quite there yet, and that's basically what puts me off of the game as well. Is you know, it has to have a good platforming. You know, has to have a good multiplayer platform on the game. If it doesn't really, then you know, it just so it's not one of my personal favorites, but it's, you know, people played it and they enjoyed it, so I guess it's alright. It did got generally positive reviews on it and had a pretty high score in there, but I don't know. I think there's just better options out there. Moving on to Sleeping Dogs. Again, I've only played the demo of this because I don't honestly think I would enjoy the full game. It's just basically one of them GTA games. I've watched reviews on it, but then again, you know, reviews are subjective to the person that's doing it, especially when it's big companies. They usually get paid by the developers to give good reviews regardless of the game is good or bad. So again, it's really subjective and it does not reflect on the full game at all. But I did watch some of them before I actually played the demo. Then I got to play the demo, and I wasn't very convinced by the game. I mean, it's good in many ways, but it's not really great. It's not GTA type of game. Let's just say that. The game is basically just a fighting mechanic, and where it should have been more. I mean, there are shooting parts, but it's not 90% of just fighting. You know, just in the fighting mechanics is excellent. It's kind of like a Batman Arkham Asylum or Arkham City or whatever. Those that kind of combat style that is really been perfected, which we haven't seen before. Like before, you just randomly you used to just throw punches in the air randomly, and now you actually, you know, you feel like you're actually doing the movement, and it's a great combat system. You actually imagine combine Street Fighter combined with GTA, combined with uh, I don't know, some racing game, whatever. Imagine all that mixed up together, and then you got Sleeping Dogs. It's not that great of a game, but it's a good sandbox racing, driving, fighting game. So if you guys, you know, would like to pick it up, that's fine. Right, another one that's at the top, but it's again mixed reviews, is Resident Evil 6. I was personally really wanting. I still do really want to play Resident Evil 6, and as soon as I get a little bit more RAM from my computer, I will definitely get it. But again, I'm a Resident Evil fan. As you guys probably see, I got every Resident Evil game from 1 to 4 on my channel, and I really wanted to play Resident Evil 6. Kind of a little bit more than I want to play Raccoon City, Operation Raccoon City, and the game is just the reason why I just didn't got it instead of, you know, I could have just gotten it, and the game is long as hell. It's like a, I don't know, I would say it's 60-70 hour campaign if you do all the characters campaign, and it has replayability value, tons of it. So the game is very long, so you get a bang for your buck. But I honestly don't think the game it was quite there. Again, it's another one that just missed expectations and didn't meet players' expectations, and it just kind of failed in that area. So I still want to play it though, and I still want to feel what it is. Again, I played the demo of it. It's on my channel somewhere if you guys want to go check it. But that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know which of your top games of 2012